welcome to the second episode of the Late Night of Veterans show. We got a special guest here tonight. We have Joseph Dudinsky from the Royal Signals. I served with Joe Dudinsky. He was a PTI instructor. And then we're going to bring on Julie, which suffers PTSD, which she's a big supporter of the PTSD camp and one of my admins. And then after that, we're going to bring on Joe from the PTSD camp, the owner, Joe and Dion, if Dion's there. And we're also going to have a chat with John Lawrence from the NHP UK. He's the leader of that national party. He's hoping to be a councillor within the next 3 years. Then after that, we're going to bring on Ado. Ado joined the YPG that went away to fight ISIS. So we're going to hear his story on that as well. And then after that, we're going to bring in Vincent from the Royal Navy. Vincent has been a big help and a big part of the PTSD camp. So I'm going to bring on Joe now. Just bear with me a second. Joe Dudinsky. At this stage.
1 sec, buddy. I'm just doing.
Okay, Joe, no worries. Joe, you're live. So just bear in mind you're live.
Oh,
this isn't a strip show.
How are you all doing today?
Right, so basically, Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Just give Joe a second.
Sorry, buddy. I was just putting my shirt up.
Right, so Joe is from the Royal Signals. We served together in 3 UK DSR Signal Regiment. Joe, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us what you do, what your trade is, and let us know about yourself. Go.
Thanks, Darren. Yeah, hi. Yeah, my name's Joe. I was a soldier in the Royal Corps Signals. I started off as an electrician. Then the boss sort of egged me into being a PTI, which was hard work, real hard work, but I really loved it. Got my...
Can you explain what for the people what PTI is?
Oh, PTI is a physical training instructor, so I'm responsible for making sure my group, my squadron or regiment is fighting fit, operationally fighting fit. So keep standards up and take them out for runs and in the gym, etc., etc.
So where was your first posting? Where was your basic training, Joe?
My basic training was in Lichfield. Was it Lichfield?
Yeah, I was Lichfield as well. Yeah. Lichfield.
Lichfield. It's closed down now. A long time ago now. Lichfield.
Yeah, it's closed down and turned into a medical.
Yeah. So I was there for a while.
So where was your second posting?
Second posting was
Blandford
Forum down in Dorset. That's where the Royal Corps Signals Museum, you know, and the Semaphore Arms. Yeah. That's good. I was there. What was your
trade in the Royal?
I was an electrician, buddy. Electrician. I really enjoyed that. I joined the army originally to be an electrician. I wanted to get a trade, you know. But then obviously they pushed me into. I was really lucky. I was good with my fitness and my endurance, so they pushed me to be a PTI, and I managed that. You know, that was good. And then after that, go on. You remember getting thrashed by me in the muddy fields in January?
So then you moved on to 3 UK, didn't you? That was your posting, and then I met you there, and then we become really close mates, didn't we?
Oh yeah, in Bulford, yeah, that was good. Down near Salisbury, we had a lot of fun in Salisbury Plains. Yeah, good stuff.
And then once we left the military, Joe, you came to my 21st birthday, didn't you?
That's it. Yeah, you were dressed as a bird, weren't you?
I wasn't. And what happened after my 21st birthday? I ended up coming back with you, didn't I? And I moved away for 13 years, didn't I? I never came home.
I'd managed to bag my way into civvy life quite successfully, and you were struggling a little bit, or you weren't as lucky. So I brought you up to my place. You lived in my gaff for a bit. I taught you up as I went along, and you became an electrical engineer, just like me.
Yeah, that was good. Really, really good. One of my that was one of my greatest moments. That was just leaving Pembrokeshire going through a bad time. You know, my mental health was decreasing. And yeah, it was really good, really good. But yeah, thanks for.
Like, she was a little bit lost at the time, weren't you? And now you can look after yourself financially and all that. That's good.
Yeah. So thank you for that, Joe, because I've been off the rails now for on and off for a few years now. I've managed now to sort myself out, reaching out to this PTSD camp, which I want to touch on strongly.
It's a lot easier to take care of yourself if you can, if you've got a few skills and a bit of knowledge in that. You know, every man wants to be able to look after himself. You know, anyway, doesn't he? You know, makes you proud.
But this is what one of the main reasons we're doing this show for, Joe, because I was struggling. I turned against everyone, and the PTSD camp back was there for me through and through. They always had my back and made me believe in myself. And I take
off the world. You just shut everyone away, and you just want to deal with your problems on your own.
Yeah. So if any veterans watch this show, reach out to the PTSD camp if you're suffering. If you want a bit of respite, don't be afraid to contact us. We're here to help. It's helped me. They effectively saved my life. So big shout out to the PTSD camp. There is a group called PTSD Camp Families and Veterans, so feel free to join the group. So now, Joe, I'm going to move on now. I'm going to bring in Julie and have a little chat with Julie. She's a bit shy, so bear with her. It's going to be one. She used to do a lot of lives down in Llanelli and get a lot of footage out there. So I'm going to bring Julie on now. Joe, you're going to stay in the show.
Thanks very much.
Just mute.
Glad to meet you all. Yeah, I'll listen.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to bring Julie in. I'm going to leave you in. Oh, Julie's not there. Right, okay. I'm going to bring Joe in then. I'm going to bring Joe in from the PTSD camp because Julie's disappeared. Hi, Joe.
Hello, Darren. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Joe. How are you doing?
Joe.
I'm all right, thanks.
Joe, this is
good stuff.
So Joe DRAYSON is the owner of the PTSD camp with her husband DION, and they've been running this for a few years now. And I joined. I went there 2019 and did the Remembrance Parade Sunday. So Joe, do you want to introduce yourself and promote the camp and say what you guys do and reach out to veterans and stuff? You want to explain?
Yeah, basically, as you know, I'm called Joe and my husband is DION, but he's not here on the show tonight. We've set the camp up basically to help veterans that needed respite, because on a daily basis after DION came out the army, he was learning about his friends that couldn't cope anymore, didn't have any help when they came out of the services, no support at all, and he was learning that they were committing suicide. So we decided we had plenty of room here. It's a lovely place, and they could come here free of charge and have the respite that they need. We've also got nurses and counsellors that we can contact if they need that sort of help. Some people just like to come here, chill out, have a bit of banter with other vets that are here, and they go away feeling better without having any counselling or seeing anybody.
Yeah, and I can vouch for that as well, Joe, because you know what I've been going through and stuff, and you guys have always had my back. And I can definitely vouch for the PTSD camp. I reached out to not counsellors, to seek medical advice, doctors. They just wanted to stick me on this medication, Valium and pregabalin, which wasn't great. I reckon a patient cured is a customer lost. So since reaching out to this camp, my life has become a lot better. I can reach out to people. I'm talking with Joe on a daily basis. We're constantly in touch with veterans that are suffering PTSD or feeling low or down, and we're doing really well on that at the minute.
Well, it doesn't just stop there. The vets that come here, like we've got vets that don't really feel they want to come here because they don't want their families to know what they're suffering. So we speak to them, like you say, Darren, on a daily basis, or just check in, or just a little message or something in the morning or the afternoon, just to check they're all right. And things like this show, for people to watch this show, it's something for them to look forward to on a Friday night at 9 o'clock and hear what other people have got to say. Yeah,
routine's always good, isn't it? Something to look forward to.
Changing the edit privacy to public. I was wondering why no people were on. It was only me that could do it. So now it's now live. we were live anyway. They'll still be able to see the whole show. I've just put it public. It was set to only me for some reason. But yeah, we're live now. We were live anyway, but we're, so basically, what's the future plans for the PTSD camp, Joe? Obviously, you know what's going on next year. Do you want to explain a bit more about that? And obviously, John Lawrence is going to be a big part of that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, John's been here right from the start. He's been a big supporter of ours. So yeah, you've got the Big Brother show coming up, which we're going to get some vets on and have a bit of fun with that. And like you said, there's going to be cameras everywhere. It is proper Big Brother, so that's going to be good fun. When the weather warms up, we're going to take this clubhouse down and basically rebuild it and have a new kitchen fitted and everything, because this was only ever temporary. It's only meant to be temporary. It started off a little shed up that end, then we extended it, then we extended it again, and then we extended it again. So what we want to do basically is take the whole thing down and build it up again, bigger and better. So when we do that, we will be shouting out for vets and people with skills to come down and help do that. I'm
sure me and Joe wouldn't mind doing the electrics for you for free.
That would be amazing.
Take half a day.
No
wouldn't mind, would we, Joe?
No problem at all.
Good.
Yeah.
So Joe, thanks for that. I'm going to bring on Ado now and bring up his story. Obviously, feel free to ask him questions and stuff. So I'm going to bring Aidan in now and bring his questions up. So adding Ado to the stage. Is he in? What's going on here? Nope, he hasn't come in. Oh, is he? Nope. Hang on, he's still backstage. What's going on? Add to stage. Right, it should be coming in now. Hello, Aidan. You want to say hi?
Hello,
before I start asking?
Hiya.
Can you introduce yourself?
Hello.
I can't stop on that same as you.
Hi everyone, you right?
Hello, mate. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not too bad, mates.
Ado, do you want to just introduce yourself and then and let us know who you are and why you're on the show and what the PTSD camp? I know you haven't visited the camp, but what us guys and Joe and Dion have done for you so far in the past couple of weeks. Because looking at you were, if you don't mind me saying, you were at a low place and you seem to have come out your shell.
Yeah.
You're coming across really well. Your morale and your mental health is increasing because you send us a nice message saying thank you as well, didn't you?
Yeah. So I'm Aidan James. I'm the first English Brit to be convicted for a terrorism offence for fighting against Islamic State.
That sucks, man.
Yeah. Ado was convicted on terrorist charges and was served 1 year in jail, sentenced to 1 year in jail, but ended up doing 5. So I got 8 questions to ask Ado. There's only certain questions I can ask. I don't want to incriminate him because we're live. So Ado joined the YPG. What did you join the YPG? What does YPG mean again, Ado? It's
the People's Defence Force or the People's Defence Unit.
Is the People's Defence Unit. So what made you, Ado, join the YPG?
So I joined the YPG because they were the main fighting force battling ISIS, and they were sent out a call for international volunteers to come and help. And I thought, we can't really stop ISIS here, so let's go to their so-called caliphate and see if I can plug ISIS on at the source.
So to me, and I think everybody else would agree that is heroic, and what a brave man you are. I know you don't call yourself up, but it takes some balls and some guts to stand up and join an organization like that and go and fight ISIS. Because
I just felt I just had to do something. You know, I think the Manchester Arena attack was the pinnacle point when that was it, and I left. I think I left a week, 2 weeks after that.
Wow. Joe, what's your thoughts on that? What do you think he's brave for doing that? What's your thoughts?
Hi, Joe.
Hello. I think that's great, mate. I mean, I felt that in my heart as well. The fact that they can just come here and do that. if I was able, I would have done something as well. For you to do that, you're a hero in my eyes, mate. I can't believe it.
I appreciate that, thank you, but I'd never consider myself a hero. I just
I know,
did what needed to be done.
But Ado hasn't recently jailed this year, I believe, and he served 5 years, mate, in Belmont prison. And you know, he needs this support. He needs people around him. He needs to get in touch with the PTSD camp, and because the police are watching him.
The PTSD camp, the stuff that they do down there, they do more work for veterans than the actual army. They've helped me more than anything.
That's good.
Right, next question then. How long was you part of the YPG?
For around 18 months.
18 months. So how did you find it out there fighting ISIS?
How did I find it?
Yeah.
You mean how did I find out how to join the YPG?
If you come under any combat, you don't have to talk about it. It's just a question I'm going to ask. Obviously, hi Melanie, she's just joined the show. How did you feel? How did you feel?
Up or something, you know, that sort of thing.
What? Sorry, say that again.
He wants to know how you ended up. What was your route to joining them and getting out there?
Yeah. So I could send Darren. Actually, I can show you why I'm on here. So if you could see that.
Yeah. Oh, we've all froze. Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, so if you can see that, it was the International Freedom Battalion, and it was on it was a Facebook call out. It was a call out on Facebook, and that was the route. You contacted them, and then they give you an email on Proton Mail, which is a Swiss secure email, and you go through a vetting stage, and you know, a series of things to check you out and stuff, and then they tell you to book your flights, and once you've sent them a photo of your flights booked, they organise everything for you to get picked up out and stuff like that.
Mate, I think you're very, very brave man for doing that, and incredible.
The thing is, like, for me, I'm not brave because my mental health. I was sectioned. I think I got released from being sectioned, and the prevent team handed me my passport back, even though I said I was flying out, and they could have stopped me. And I think it was a couple of days after I got released. That was when I flew out. So
once you finished doing what you were doing with the YPG, you got a flight back home. What happened when you arrived back in the UK and with the police, and how were you treated?
So I got stopped at Liverpool Airport. I got bagged and tagged on the plane. I got took to a. Yeah.
Go on, Joe. Joe's frozen a minute. Give it a second. Go on, Joe. Fire your question.
Straight off the plane, yeah. Damn.
Sorry, Joe. I couldn't hear what you were saying then.
Joe, do you want to ask a question? I think he's muted. Hang on. No, he's not muted. No, Joe, we can't hear you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you from the stage and bring you back in a second because we can't hear you. I'll bring Joe back in a second. Time to update. So bear with me a second. Yeah, what happened when you arrived back in the UK after your tour?
Yeah, so obviously I got stopped at the airport by the police. I got arrested. I got took somewhere that we still don't know where it was for a while now, to get interrogated and questioned by the police. After 3 days of me doing no comment interviews, I was then charged with preparation to commit a terrorist act, which is just unbelievable. Wow. But I think even my solicitor said they charged me with that, so that'll give them the right to remand me straight away. and to, you know, to investigate and stuff.
That must have been a big, massive shock for you, and the way you were treated was unbelievable. You were in Belmont prison, I believe.
Belmarsh.
Belmarsh, sorry, I always say Belmont. I
Yeah,
don't know
so
why.
I was in Belmarsh, but I was in the HSU, which is the prison inside the prison, the high secure Cat A unit.
Right. Okay. The next question, Ado.
Yeah.
Did they treat you after everything that went on, and you'd been on tour, and you came back after what you did with the YPG? Did they treat you for mental health after being treated so badly, and was there much support?
So my mental health was bad before I left. Already, I'd already suffered with mental health issues. In jail, they said I was psychotic, and prescribed me antipsychotics or olanzapine, so they could just turn me into a zombie. Cause yeah,
Well, that's what
I don't know why.
People down that are awake.
Yeah, so if you know about olanzapine, it absolutely, you know, it turns you into a dope. And because they issued me that because of me flashbacks and, you know, and stuff like that, and like me nightmares and me night terrors and that, there wasn't really any like mental health support at all, to be fair.
So have you had help from the system, or have you just had help from us PTSD, the PTSD camp?
Well, I've been out for around 9 months now, and I haven't seen a single mental health nurse.
Wow.
Not one.
Wow. And how do you feel the camp has helped and supported you so far in these couple of weeks?
The PTSD camp Bath is like you said before, and I'm not lying when I say this. They have saved my life. If it wasn't for the stuff, the support that they've showed me, the people that they've introduced me to, you know, they've done more for me than anything, and I've got nothing but love and respect for them.
Yeah, I noticed a similar thing was happening to me with you, Ado. I'm not joking. Over the past 2 weeks, since the camp's been involved and we've been contacting you, adding you to the groups, your mental health has improved quite significant.
Yeah. Even my mum said that she's noticed that I've been a bit happier and stuff like that. It just gives you the boost, because if I phoned like a mental health crisis line and told them the stuff that I'm seeing and what's going through me, they'd just section me. That you know, or they just prescribe you medication that you don't need.
Yeah, they just think you're psychotic. They put me down as psychotic and on the prevent list. I was on it for 4 years.
Joke.
So that's just a target they use. So I have the hang on. Last question then. How has all this? Oh, it's closed. How has all this affected your life with all the restrictions of being on lifetime terrorist watch? Say like.
The main thing that's affected my life is I am labelled a convicted terrorist. You can't. I can't escape that ever. Do you know what I mean? I can't. And the restrictions, you know, it stops me basically travelling out the UK, full stop. It stops me talking to people, you know. But it wasn't just when I got out. Even when I was inside, it's a systematic approach of isolating you and keeping you away from people, you know, that you support group, and they try to make you, you know, crack and to leave you with nothing. You know what I mean?
Shut you down. You're only allowed. Yeah. You're only allowed certain places. You're allowed certain things. You even allowed to leave the UK?
Sorry, say that again.
Are you even allowed to leave the UK?
Well, they said I can leave the UK, but no country would accept me. They said as soon as I get to the country, I'll get kicked out. And I said, I said, are you sure? And they said the last person that was on my charge tried to go to Mexico and got knocked back.
Wow. See, that's affecting you now. Everything you've done is you've done for the right cause, I believe, and everybody else, all our supporters believe. And I think your story needs to get out there, and you need to get on more Patriots, as maybe John could bring you in on one of his lives, because your story needs to get out there. And I'm sure John will.
I think that the story that we need to get out there is that there's no support for people with combat PTSD, combat stress, and that there really isn't.
You look at this immigration that's coming in, and we had we're going to touch a subject with Vince, with a 98-year-old World War II D-Day veteran that was served a no-fault eviction notice. Now they're being housed in a 4-star hotel, 3 meals a day, accommodation, and this poor veteran was made to live in a hostel with his family, and I think it's absolutely disgusting. Steve Atkins just said, John. So I'm going to speak to John now. John, if you want to unmute yourself, and we'll promote your channels and have a chat with you. If you just want to sit tight, Ado, and just listen in. Hi, John, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Do you want to just explain who you are and what your party is and what you're the leader of? And
I certainly will. My name's John Lawrence, Big John Lawrence. I'm the leader of the National Housing Party United Kingdom, which is a registered political party in the UK, and we're running in elections across the country. We've run in London, Bristol, the Wirral, Oldham. We're looking at Leicester next year and just getting into local elections. And I promise you, I'll be a local councillor within the next 3 years. So I'm very confident. And Aiden, obviously after the Manchester Arena bombing, he felt motivated to do something. He went out abroad. Well, my battle is a political arena. That is my battle. Local council elections. I could have signed up and done something like Aiden. I could have been a different kind of activist, but my skills is political. So I'm running in local elections.
Yeah, and I think you're doing a really good job of that, John. Do you want to what your Facebook or YouTube channel is? And once I finish, put all the links in the comments below.
YouTube channel NHP UK TV. And my Facebook is John Lawrence, and we have NHP UK Facebook pages. We're all over Twitter as well, and you can find my website, nationalhousingparty.uk. It's easy to search our policies there and that and stuff. I just want to say, I was one of the first people, down at this camp before it was a camp for veterans. Joe and Dean explained what they wanted to do, just like she said to you earlier. And I've supported the camp from then. That's like 4 years ago, and I've seen the full development of the camp. Gets me full support, and obviously, I look after my mum who's got Alzheimer's, so the camp is a bit of a breakaway for me because I'm exhausted, guys. I'm physically, mentally exhausted through looking after my mum, and the camp gives me that time where I can relax and just chill out, and and I see it with the veterans as well who come down. There was a veteran a couple of summers ago, and he would not have been able to see his kids if it wasn't for this camp, because he lived in a tiny 1-bedroomed, like bed sitting. He couldn't have the kids there, so he brought his kids here. And obviously, come here, you've seen the stuff that the veterans have built across the camp, which motivates them, gets them active and stuff like that, which does better for the mental health. As Joe says, she has counsellors that come here regular if people need it and they need that kind of support and stuff like that. And it's great. I'm 56 years old, and supporting the armed forces is in our blood. It's in my blood. I might have gone to the armed forces route, but I was Boys Brigade, Sunday school. I was very prominent in that kind of role. But yeah, so that's me. That's what I do. Oh, and don't forget Big Brother, guys. In May, June-ish, we're going to be doing Big Brother at the camp, and we've got some guests and all that, and we'll start sharing stuff out. But let's get on it.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you for coming on, mate. I'll talk on Big Brother at the end and have a chat at the end. We're going to bring Vince in now. I brought Vince in. Vincent Cawthorne, he's a part of the Royal Navy. He was a senior chief petty officer. Welcome to the show, Vincent. Do you want to explain who you are and what you've done, and if you've got any stories?
Okay. Thank you, Dan, for inviting me to partake in your second show, if you like. And obviously, like the rest of us, I wish
Hi.
well
Oh,
for what
Skype.
you're doing. I wish well
Sorry,
for what you're doing. So, a brief intro about myself. All right, I'm 75 years old, all right, or 75 years young. I prefer to be called 75 years young. Okay. Yes, I was in the senior service, as it's called, the Royal Navy, but I don't mean that insidiously or cruelly against the Army or the RAF, just that we were formed many centuries ago. I did 22 and a half years. So
Wow.
I kept pension at the age of 40. Okay. I was in the electronics field. My label was weapons, electrical or electronics artificer, engineer, a bit like a UREMI.
Yeah. Rob, we were here.
Yeah, equivalent to a UREMI.
Yeah.
So
We were attached to the LED. Yeah.
right, okay. So, and I rose to a level of chief petty officer at quite a young age, because it was a fast promotion route to be an artificer in the Navy. I turned down the offer of becoming a commissioned electronics electoral officer. I didn't want to be part of that fraternity. Okay, I can explain that if one wishes to know more. And I declined warrant officer status because warrant officer came in as a rank while I was in the service. I declined that. I was quite content to be a senior chief petty officer as an engineer on warships and basically responsible for many aspects of electronics, communications, radar, computers, you name it. Okay, so that was my lifespan. Yes, I went down to the Falklands in '82. We went down my ship prior to it all kicking off in the Falklands and stayed there until the end of it in July time of '82. A couple of fracasses before that, a lot smaller scale, that I was involved with over the 22 years, but they're a lot smaller in context than the Falklands. But majority of things I was involved with abroad in the Navy was helping people after them going and suffering through some form of disaster. And that was the greatest pleasure I had in helping others to recover from what they were suffering from. Thankfully, I don't appear to suffer from any form of mental disorder. I won't call it a disease, illness,
but
disorder.
You do support the PTSD, and you do look after them.
Yeah, I'll come into that in a second. I do appreciate that some people have gone through a lot more traumatic experiences during their military lives than I had to go through. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that, and I can try to help in the best way I can for those like Joe and DION do at the camp. Try to help those through that traumatic journey of recovery as best as they can. Yeah, I first got involved with the camp during the raid in '82, during the unlawful raid. I won't call it legal or illegal. I'll call it unlawful. Anyway, and that so therefore I've been going to the camp now for nearly 3 years. March next year will be 3 years, and I have tremendous respect for the DRAYSON family and how much they put themselves out for others. Okay?
100%.
It's a fantastic vocation they've got, but what I must say is that the funding of it, I would say, is 90% out of their own pocket. Bear this in mind, people. All right? They pay for the majority of that. The donations they get are very, very small. And I could tell you lots of stories about that, which annoys me. But anyway, you'll always get people who will take the piss, take the advantage, and think something for free. All right? Well, some of those have now no longer go to the camp, thank God. But anyway, the camp, in its fundamental, if that wasn't there, a lot of people who suffer mental disorder, PTSD, if you want to call it, wouldn't get any help from the state. They don't get help from the state. All right. The state can't be bothered with you. That's the simplicity of it. Whereas in the US, the opposite is to a fair degree. Military veterans or people who have fought like that, okay, are regarded in a hell of a lot higher respect, even in the uproar in the US at the moment. But in the UK, when you walk out and you put civilian clothes on, the government of the day couldn't give two hoots about you. All right?
That's absolutely.
In a lot of ways, you're an embarrassment of their cock-ups and their decisions to send you somewhere where you had to suffer accordingly. I'll leave it at that. Unless somebody wants to ask a question. Okay. I could tell you some humorous moments in the Royal Navy after 22 and a half years. Of course I could. And there would be humorous stories and there'd be truthful stories. One thing that Joe and Dion know, and Dion and Darren, I think, appreciates, I never, ever exaggerate, assume, or make a supposition. When I say something, I say it from fact. Because I spend all my waking hours now, I live on my own, etc., researching all the time. And I'll do that until the day I die. But I'll also try to help the camp until the day I die as well. Okay? So there you are.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for your intro. And
Thank you.
To touch on John Lawrence, it's from the background. That was great. Thank you. Do you want to touch on what we did for Alfred, the 98-year-old World War II D-Day veteran that was served a no-fault eviction notice, and we did a chapel walk, as you know, and we that's the first time I met you at the camp, and you drove us down quite quick, actually, at 50 miles per hour. But yeah, I'm really joking.
Yeah, don't make people think I'm a slow coach. Far from it. I'm maybe 35, but my God, I can do things.
I think go off the lines of more haste, less speed.
Well, it's the map or the directions we were given by somebody whose name will remain anonymous. All right, but anyway, yeah, that gentleman, 98 years of age, okay, fought in the Second World War. All right, disgusting again the way the system treats people like that. Okay, and I thank Darren and I thank the camp for all they've done to help him and his daughter and her partner, okay, try to overcome what they're going through. But it shouldn't have happened in the first place anyway. Totally unacceptable. But people listening and watching in, that's just one example. Ado is another example.
One of many.
And many other people. I'm not just saying anybody who's been in the military or, if you like, paramilitary, excuse the pun, Ado, but you volunteered.
Oh,
you know,
no, yeah, it's fine.
You know, but anybody who's been in that sort of scenario, and it can happen to people in the firefighting service. It can happen to people in the health service, ambulance service. It can happen to people actually in the police. So, you know, it's not just peculiar to people who've been in military confrontation, whatever. But none of them will get the help from the state. And bear in mind, people, it's my taxes and your taxes. I still pay tax, unfortunately. It's our taxes, our money, that they're not spending in the direction that we want them to spend it in. Okay? So we need to get off our asses, because I call a spade, people. People know me on social media for that. We need to get off our backsides and think we have to solve that problem and not expect others to solve it for you. The camp does a wonderful job, but it can't cover everything. And also, it can't do everything. So don't put on any responsibility to others that you're not willing to put on to yourself. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I just touch on that? Like the help that the help that they've given me, even though that I'm not military, you know, I never served in any recognised armed forces over in the UK.
You saved our country, so you're still a vet. So
But
don't discredit.
I just want to say, like, when they reached out to me, you know, the letters of support that I was getting in jail when they weren't restricting me mail, the little ones that slipped through, you know, the support was amazing. And since I've been out, yeah, I've been out 9 months. I go to the doctors every single week, and I tell them, you know, I'm on the verge of committing suicide. I need help. I need to speak to someone. Oh, Mr. James, you're in a waiting list. And it's 9 months.
Wow.
9 months on a waiting list. You know, and I know that any time in the day or night, I can pick up the phone and speak to Joe or Dion. You know what I mean? And I've got nothing but respect. And now that I'm out and I'm starting to talk about my experiences, and I'll be going to see them soon, I'm going to put all my effort into help them and help raise awareness, you know.
I tell you what, it feels good.
Down.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
In support of Ado, right? No, it wasn't in the Ado wasn't in the formal what you call military service, but his attitude, his personality, his character, all right, said to him, "I must go out and do something." All right. Now the same thing has happened over generations, where the government of the day have sent us armed forces, especially the army, to fight abroad against somebody else. Not necessarily where we were formerly at war with, but the government decided to get involved. So there's no difference between Ado, what he did through his own heart and conviction, to what we who served
people would, man.
Therefore, he is a veteran and gained the respect as a veteran from me and the rest of us.
I like that, Vincent. Well said. I'm glad you said
that. It means a lot, lad. Thank you.
No, it's fine. You know, you can reach out to any one of us, pick up the phone. We've got that group. The camp have effectively saved my life, and I think we're on the verge of saving your life from what you've been doing, the way you've been. And I've seen a massive improvement. We touch base with you every single day, and I'm not joking. You've gone 0 to hero in 2 weeks. And
I'll never be a hero, but I've gone from a 0 to a 9.5, and that's a big thing for me. You know, it's because of me mental health. You know, it's 1 minute it's up, next minute it's down, and no matter what, I know that I can pick up, because I'm not big online. You know, I've never been big online or talking to people and stuff. But since the support I was getting off you, you know, you have improved my confidence, you have helped me mental health, you supported me, supported my family, you know what I mean, and I'm a stranger, and they've risked trouble with counter terror just by saying supporting me, and it's not right, you know. They're doing more to help anyone.
Yeah. And I'm really glad. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I don't like to jump in all the time, but I like to sort of have some bit of humour to the sadness of what you're discussing, and rightly so. When I left at the age of 40, all right, they wanted me to stay on till 55, do another 15 years, all right. I'd had enough by that time. Okay, I eventually stayed for 22 because that was a pensionable age. But of course, if you serve anything less than that, I don't know if it's different now, but in those days, you didn't get a penny. You didn't get any pension from the government, if you like. Well, you didn't get any pension paid by the taxpayers, authorised by the government, let's put it that way. Okay? So when I walked out of the barracks at the age of 40, okay, handing this in and that in and everything, right, I just thought, oh, no thank you for my service, from my superior officers, all right? I was a non-commissioned officer. But anyway, my superior commissioned officers, let's put it that way. All right, that was it. It's just like walking out of a shop into a street and thinking, right, okay, what do I do now? And I was fortunate. I had another job to go to, a very well paid job because of my qualifications. But all my qualifications I got in the Navy weren't paid by the government. They were paid by your taxes.
100%,
You people employed me for 22 and a half years. I never swore an oath to the monarch. I'm not a monarchist. I'm not a royalist, all right? I could go into that in a lot of detail, but anyway, I'm not. I was fortunate in a way when I joined in 65. In 66, when I was 18, I took an attestation, a written oath. But the oath wasn't to the monarch, because the Navy had never, ever sworn an oath to the monarch. Okay? Different now. Tony Blair, I think it's 2001, something like that, when he was reigning as PM, changed it, the Navy swear an oath to the monarch. But if I had sworn an oath to the monarch, I would willingly and fruitfully break that oath and be glad to break that oath. All right? So there you are.
I can totally understand what you said there as well, and I feel the same. I've just got Gareth Stewart Venables. He's one of my cousins. Has just left a message saying he's just about to leave after a medical discharge after 21 years. Bring on the big bad world. And Gareth was my cousin, and he was a PTI instructor as well. He was in the Royal Signals, and he was a bit of a twat to me, to be honest, when we were in our training sessions. But he'd say, "See that tree over there? Go run to it and come back." I'd run around the tree. And he'd say, "No, not that one, the one behind it." So I had to run again. So he absolutely smashed me. But yeah, no, he's a great guy. Served 21 years. He's just about to come out. He'd love to come on the show, but he can't talk about anything yet. I think he's a sergeant at the minute, but he wants to get involved with a PTSD camp and come on the show one time soon. But yeah, only a twat to you, Dazza. Yeah, there we go. Joe, are you muted? Yeah, I'll unmute you. So, guys, we're coming to the 45-minute mark. We've got 5 minutes left or something. So any final last words, Joe, to give a shout out to the veterans? Any final last words?
Well, no, just share the fact that we're here. And if anybody needs help, contact us. And I promise you, we'll contact you back. If it's not me and Dion, it'll be one of our members. Do you know what? One of our supporters, or Darren is especially good. I'd just like to say Darren introduced a couple of vets that have been here, and they couldn't make the show tonight because they're on the razzle. So that's good though. That's good. They've got together because of Darren. So Darren's playing a big part in, and also there's a lot of vets that used to come here for Christmas, but now they get invited to each other's houses, so that the support is outside of the camp as well. So nobody's on their own for Christmas.
Yeah, well, these two vets, they're up, I'm not going to mention any names, but they're up and down and they've got no one. And we got them hooked up yesterday and they get on like a house on fire, so which is really, really good. And they both rang me up and said, "Don't know how much this, blah, 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 blah." But yeah, we're here to support the vets, and, you know, I think we're doing a good job.
Brilliant job.
Well, without people like you guys, we wouldn't be able to do it. Me and Dion couldn't do it on our own. So it's a family affair. I call everybody family. Everybody that's in our close family.
Sisters, you and Dion are like the mother and father of us all. and Vincent. Vincent can be the granddad. I'm only joking.
Oh, he is. Well, I mean, that's another thing. Vince comes down here, and when Vince comes down, he brings apples for the donkeys. He brings rich tea biscuits for the goats, carrots for the ponies. He loves to spend time with baby dolls. So there's a lot of therapy here without us even trying. Do you know what I mean?
Can I ask one more question, Joe?
Yep.
Has baby doll found Darren yet?
Well, no, it was quite funny because the other day we were upstairs and she looked up and there's a lot of loft hatches upstairs. She went, "Nana, we haven't looked up there for Darren." We've looked everywhere else.
Joe, can I just say again, thank you for everything while we're on here. Just, you know, I speak to you on a daily basis, but, you know, your support has meant the world to me. and I thank you from the
Well,
bottom of my
you're
heart.
welcome, Aidan. You're welcome. And like I said before, we'd love you as London Mayor.
Things would definitely be different if I was the mayor.
I know it would, and for the better. For the better.
Yes, indeed.
We're all meeting up New Year's Eve at the camp, guys. So we're all going to celebrate New Year's there. We're going to go live. So yeah, we've got quite a strong group at the minute. We found some Ilford that are out. I'm yet to add Vincent, which I will add him to our chat group. So Vincent, have you got any last week?
John's just requested a karaoke for New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
no.
Well, Dion,
Dion
can sing the first one.
You'll never get him off it. Yeah, New Year's Eve, we've got lots going on, and we've got Dion always does a big firework display for New Year's Eve, so it should be good.
Hey, Joe, say hi to Dion and John for me as well. You know,
yeah,
say thanks for this as well.
Say hello.
Hi, John, mate.
I should be here New Year's Eve, Ed, and I'm going to make. I was going to go back a bit early, but I'm not. I'm going to make it that I'm here New Year's. So
brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, I can't wait to see you, mate. I can't wait. Thanks for your support.
I can't neither. Honestly, I can't neither.
And John, where are you going?
Good stuff.
And I'm going seeing Alfie tomorrow as well. So get a bit of filming in, have a chat with him, and obviously Alfie, we'd raised well over £10,000 for. And supported him. The camp supported him with money and that, and all the time, all the way through. And so have I, and so has everyone else. So it's good stuff, good stuff. So I'm blessed.
Brilliant.
I'm blessed.
So, Vincent, any last words before I have a quick chat with John about Big Brother?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Anyway, thank you again, Darren. Right. I won't go into depth about the raid on the camp. But people listening, do not listen to false opinions about the raid on the camp in March 2021. Okay. Obviously, I would not go into detail on it. I would expect Joe to, or Dion. But I'm very heavily involved supporting them in that particular situation. Okay. So it's all subject to further legal, lawful, I call it, lawful process. All right. And we will jointly, all of us, will overcome and gain success for the DRAYSON family in light of what happened to them in March 2021. Okay.
Yeah, we touched
so
on
please,
that in the first episode.
So please don't listen to assumptions, guesses, and anything else. There's plenty of that across the whole of social media. Besides the mainstream anyway, which don't bother covering it. All right. But don't listen. Do your research. If you want to know more, contact your direct and she would decide whether to let you know more. But you'll learn a lot more by coming visiting the camp than sitting back and not visiting.
I can't wait to get stuck in.
And I'm looking forward to meeting Ado personally.
Very much. I'm very much looking forward to meeting all of you. I've finally found my community.
Brilliant.
Good.
Glad.
So thank you all. And let's together as a team move forward and achieve what we want to achieve. All right.
Yeah.
Brilliant. One last thank you guys for coming on the show. I'm going to put you backstage now, guys. Thank you for coming on. Aidan, thanks for sharing your story. You were absolutely brilliant and you did really well, and you're coming on leaps and bounds. So everyone, big shout out to Ado. Huge credit for what he's done, and a big round of applause. And Vincent, you've been incredible tonight. Your knowledge is incredible as well, and your stories. And we can't wait to have you on the Big Brother show.
Darren. Thank you.
Is there any spaces left on this Big Brother show?
Yeah, we've got 11 people in. We've got 9 left. So
yeah, I might sign me up.
Yeah, you're already in. So just one thing before you all go, I just want to say one thing. I'm going to share the link in the comments for DION's bank account. If anybody would like to make a donation to the camp, because it's not funded by the government, it's all down purely to our donations. So please give them a small donation if you can. It'd be really appreciated. They have spent thousands out of their own pocket. And they've not had any help at all. So please, 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 yeah, make a small donation if you can.
John's on it.
Good. Good stuff. On it as in
Brilliant.
on it like a car on
Right,
it. Right, I'm going to
so much, Darren. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for everyone coming on.
I'm going to
Love
take
you, Joe.
Vincent, Aidan,
John,
Vincent, Aidan.
both of you, see you later. Thank you, everyone, for that.
So, John, let's talk about the Big Brother for 5 minutes. We've got
Yeah.
some plans and some tasks and things up our sleeves. You looking forward to it, John? You're going to be one of the main cameramen.
Yeah. The tasks and all that. Are you gonna be putting farm work in, like mucking out the pigsty and all that kind of stuff? And doing all
We've got loads of stuff. We've got. I'm going to give you an example. One example. So we're going to have like a secret task where we bring the contestant to the Big Brother chair. We're going to interview them all, and then we're going to have like a secret task. This is just one. So we're going to say, Ado, can you go to Dion and say, look, Joe's cooking is absolutely disgusting. Can you just let him know I'm going to cook for myself?
No, fucking, that's death on the camp. That's someone getting killed.
Well, we're going to shit steer, mix things up, and then at the end, if they discover it's a task, then they fail if they pass. But we've got loads of shit steering lined up and loads of that.
I just said to Joe, there's horses here, pigs and everything. We should plan that on the day we're doing the Big Brother, they have to do all the horse shit removing, clean out the pigsty and all that, get them to do all them kind of jobs around the farm. I'm
weeding the Remembrance Parade cross.
Yeah. So
whoever picks the most weed wins the challenge.
Yeah.
We've got stuff that's going to benefit the camp. We've got loads of trials, loads of tasks. It's going to be incredible. So we're really looking forward to it.
I'm here the week, so I'll jot down some notes. I'll go through stuff. I'll have a look at some Big Brother stuff, and I'll jot some notes down. So by the time you get here, New Year's Eve, I should have a load of stuff written down for it. Yeah.
So John's going to be the cameraman. I'm going to be the host. John will be taking part of being the host, but it's going to be on John's channel, guys. So please follow John at NHPUK. Yeah, he's the leader of his own national party. So please follow him on Facebook. Follow John Lawrence on Facebook. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him on YouTube. It's NHPUK. Please follow him because he will be the main cameraman and we'll be streaming from his StreamYard and to his channel. So please follow John, guys. Give this share a stream. And we're going to end it here because we're coming up to the hour mark. Thank you for coming on, John. And I look forward to working with you on the Big Brother show. And if any veterans out there...
No, Darren, thank you, mate. Thanks.
No worries. John, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you soon.
All right, pal. All right. See you in a bit, mate. See you in a bit.
So, guys, brilliant show there. I think we've had some really good guys on, some stories. And, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Big Brother, PTSD Camp, Veterans and Patriots Big Brother. We're going to have cameras everywhere. We're going to mix it up. We're going to shit stare. We're going to have a bit of a laugh. We do have spaces left. We have 11 contestants. We have 9 spaces left. So if you're interested, give us a shout and we will sign you up. Yeah, so we're really, really looking forward to that. Again, big shout out to the PTSD camp and everybody that was on the live tonight. Thank you so much, so much. You've heard the stories about me and Ado, how the camp has changed their life and effectively saved their life. So reach out, veterans. You're not alone. You don't fight this fight alone. It does get better. I'm going to leave it there. Much love. I'm Darren Edmondson, known as the Pembrokeshire Patriot. Please share and like this live.